All right, we are good to go.
Okay, great. Hi, folks. Welcome to our presentation hosted by AlmonTravel, CARP, and tonight Exoticca Touring Company. A little bit about us. We've been in business for almost 20 years. Our particular specialties are river cruises, 10 itineraries around the world, including 3 in Asia. In Vietnam, 2 itineraries, the Mekong with Cambodia, that's the temples of Angkor Wat, as well as the Red River in the north. That was quite a cultural cruise. We've done a cruise tour on the Yangtze in China, with the same in the Nile in Egypt, as well as the Rhine and the Danube and the Rhone in southern France. We've done the Po River in Italy and Portugal. We did the Douro River. We've also done the Mississippi in the United States on an extraordinary paddle wheeler, very enjoyable experience. Destination weddings. We've done 130 destination weddings from across Canada. Where that fits with this demographic, of course, is that if you have any special anniversaries, retirements, or special occasions where you might invite families and friends, we have lots of experience in putting groups together. Caribbean area vacations, both adult only and family. Because of our experience with destination weddings and the fact that we go down and visit resorts in the Caribbean, and not only those resorts, but other resorts, we know a lot about the various resorts in those areas, and we can easily recommend a suitable adult only or a family friendly resort for you. Extended family Florida trips. We focus on theme park vacations like Universal Studios, Disney, SeaWorld, and Busch Gardens. We've been to all of these several times, and because they're massive theme parks, they require some significant planning, and we can help you with that. Ocean cruises, the most popular itineraries. We've done Hawaii with NCL, which is probably the best way to do it because they're based out of Honolulu and don't leave the islands. We've also done the Mediterranean, 3 Caribbean itineraries, the north, south, and east. We've also done the UK, a cruise around the UK, which was very port intensive and a lovely way to see that area. We've also cruised from New Zealand to Australia, and also on most people's bucket list, a cruise in Alaska. With the glaciers melting at enormous rates, folks, if that's on your bucket list, you probably want to move it to the top. We also do coach tours, from local tours like a tour of Newfoundland and Labrador to coach tours around the world. We have relationships with a variety of touring operators to find the best options for you. Travel conditions. Every time I do one of these presentations, there's a change in travel conditions. More and more people are traveling today, and by and large are not experiencing significant travel problems. But there's no question that COVID is still having an impact, with the occasional flight being canceled and lineups at certain times in major entry point airports still being a concern. Plan lots of connection time. One very good sign that travel is returning to normal is the fact that most popular countries to travel to are requiring no proof of vaccinations nor COVID testing, although it's always a good idea to bring proof of vaccination with you, as well as proof of travel insurance coverage. Of course, this freedom to travel can be changed at any time, though it's important to note that that rule has been in effect even prior to COVID, so that's not really anything upsetting. The other thing to keep in mind is that the world and tour operators have just gone through a shattering 2.5 years of COVID restrictions. They know how to deal with the problem should a catastrophic event reoccur, having in place a procedure that often offers future travel credits, or if not, then travel insurance relief in place. You must purchase this coverage, though. We'll take care of the problem. My contact with Bill Van Gorder, who is the Chief Operating Officer and the Chief Policy Officer for CARP National, as well as the founding chair for CARP Nova Scotia, in addition to being senior spokesperson for CARP in the Maritimes. I got to know Bill several years ago when I was involved in a charitable organization that he and a friend of his organized called 100 Men Who Give a Damn. And during 3.5 years, we raised $350,000, every penny of which went to the charitable organizations. I was on the board with Bill and a dozen other men, and in the course of our meetings, got to know him very well. He booked a river cruise in Europe with us, and also a cross-Canada rail trip, culminating with a Rocky Mountaineer trip, which certainly is a highlight. As a result of the service that he received with those trips, Bill asked us at AlmonTravel if we would become CARP Nova Scotia's official travel agency, and we were quite happy to do that. I'd like to introduce right now Mike Quinto, who is the Vice President of Sales for Exoticca Canada, who will be introducing us to this relatively new to Canada touring company, but in existence for many years in Europe, with many very reasonably priced tour options all over the world. Mike is going to focus on Egypt and Italy among many of the locations that they can travel to. Mike, could you take over, please?
Danny, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Super excited to be here and explain all about Exoticca Tours, what we do, how we do it, and then talking to you guys really about Egypt and Italy, what you can do there, what you can see there, what you can eat there, what the culture is like, and all that fun and exciting stuff for you guys. So first I'll do a brief description of like who Exoticca is and where we came from and what we're all about, and then I'll get right into those tours for you guys. You guys can see what the travel is like on the ground, but just keep in mind our price point is absolutely amazing. Land only to Egypt's around $17.99 with airfare from Halifax. Well, we'll get into that in a second for you guys. So what does Exoticca Travel offer? We do small group guided tours to over 60 countries. So pretty much anywhere there's real tourism, we go there, which is fantastic. Small group guided tours means to us, small groups is about 12 to 16 people on average. It's not always 12 to 16 people. Like sometimes when you guys go down to Africa, so if you're going to go to Kenya or Tanzania or Namibia or Botswana or South Africa, our max group size is 8. So really, really small groups, really, really intimate to get into the nooks and cranny of the country and really experience what it's all about. So let's so you guys know. But on average, if you guys are going to like Italy or you're going to Egypt or wherever it may be, about 12 to 16 people will be on tour. We have more than 300 different itineraries to choose from. So I'm going to be talking about 2 of them today. We have 298 to go. So you can go onto our website and check it all out. Talk to Danny and he can help you out. But we go everywhere that people are looking to go to. With us, you can visit one country where we can focus on one country. So if you want to go to Portugal and spend all 9 days in Portugal, we absolutely do tours that do that. But we also have tours that do multiple countries. Now, if you are going to do multiple countries with us, you do need 10 days or longer. We like our tours to be leisurely paced. We don't want to be like racing through things and like go to here and go here and do that and do that. We want to be leisurely paced, see all the major highlights, and really get to know the country that you're in. We do group tours. That does not mean that you need to book a group with us. You can be just one person booking onto a tour. It just means you're traveling in a group-like setting. We have private tours. So, you can take any single one of those 300 itineraries and make it completely private just to you. So just your group, 2 of you, 4 of you, 6 of you, 8 of you, 2 families, 3 families, whatever it may be. It's completely private. You have your own private driver, private vehicle, private guide, just you guys, and the tour also becomes somewhat flexible in destinations, so which I'll explain further. And then we have our solo tours, and our solo tours means that you can have a single traveler. If you're a single traveler and you want to hop on one of our tours, you can absolutely, and we don't ding you with some crazy single supplement, which is fantastic, right? So the company, who is Exoticca? Where did we come from? We are based in Barcelona, Spain, founded in 2012 and launched to the public in 2014 with 367 employees. We're a fairly large company over there. We started operations in North America in 2017. And then we were, just so you guys know, we did about 90 million in sales in 2021, booking over 45,000 passengers. And the reason why I mentioned that is because 2021 wasn't the greatest year in travel, and we still were able to send away 45,000 guests to go on our tours. And they came back and ref reviews, which we're going to go over in a second with you guys. And we are a member of ASTA, ADO, ACTA, and TICO. So like those are governing bodies in travel to make sure that you guys we're fully bonded, fully supported. You're good to go, and we're fully insured if anything ever was to happen. But we aren't going anywhere. So the Exoticca travel booking difference, flights are included with us. So that will include your flight from Toronto or Halifax or Montreal or Ottawa or wherever you're flying from. We also have 3 hotel options on our tours. So we have our charm level, which is 3-star, very, very good 3-star hotels, good location, clean, safe, awesome. And the price point is absolutely amazing. If you want to step it up, we can go up to our 4-star into our superior category, which will get you 4-star hotels across the board. Or if you really want to go all out, we do have our luxury 5-star properties as well. And when you are on our website, you'll be able to see the actual hotels that we use. And our tours are guaranteed to go with 2 people. That means that if you're a couple or 2 friends or whatever it may be, booking onto one of our tours, that tour is going to go. We're not going to cancel. We don't need minimum numbers. You guys are good to go. So you can start getting excited because you will be able to travel away. So you guys, what are the benefits to book with us and being one of our clients? You get unbeatable pricing. Once you guys head over to our website and check it out, what you get for the price you guys get it for is outstanding. We have world-class customer support. We have local ground teams in every single country we go to. So when you're in Italy, we have a team that's in Italy that's there to support you in any way you need. If you go to Egypt, we have a team in Egypt. If you go to Peru, we have a team in Peru. Brazil, same thing. So you're always 100% looked after if anything was to go wrong in destination, heaven forbid. When you go to our website, our product is extremely detailed. It tells you exactly what you're going to do, what you're going to see, how you're going to see it. On longer drives, it'll give you the actual drive time, so you know how long you'd be on the bus for. We want you guys to know everything. So like I said, we give our detailed product, and we have top-notch ratings. We are rated 4.5 out of 5 on Trustpilot with over 13,000 certified reviews. So the only way you can write a review on Trustpilot is if you've been on our tour and have a booking number and you put it in there. We've got 13,000 reviews, 4.5 out of 5. So somebody likes our tours, which is exciting. And now we are going to get into Egypt, one of my favorite destinations in the entire world. If you haven't been, I highly, highly recommend you guys get out there. It is one of those destinations that does not disappoint. Whatever your expectations are, it will meet it. So the highlights of this tour is we're going to go obviously to Aswan in the south there. We do Cairo, Giza, Luxor. We do a Nile cruise when we're there. All your flights are included. You're going to have your flights from, again, like Toronto or Halifax, whatever your gateway is included, but also your internal flights are included, your accommodations are included, all the transfers, all your activities, and there are most meals are actually included. Every breakfast is included, and we have some lunches and dinners thrown in there as well. So the price that I'm going to go over at the end includes everything you guys can see on that screen. So we're going to include, like I said, international flights, the flight from Cairo to Aswan, 7 nights accommodation in superior and luxury category hotels, 3 nights on board the Nile cruise, obviously beautiful cruise, 4 breakfasts because the full board on the Nile cruise, and all inclusive in Hurghada. So it really does kind of include everything. But I'm going to explain to you guys day by day what you guys are going to do and how it's pretty much going to work. So day 1, you are going to fly from your gateway and you are going to arrive into Cairo. If we're flying out of Canada, it will be an overnight flight for sure. So that means that day 1, you leave out of your gateway, you're on your plane, you're flying, you sleep on the plane, you wake up, and you are going to arrive into Cairo Airport. Once you get arrived into Cairo Airport, don't worry, we have private transfers picking you guys up. So we're going to go to the airport, we're going to pick you guys up, we're going to drive you directly to your hotel, we are going to check you in, you're going to get your welcome guide, and then you have free time to kind of relax. We're staying at the Conrad, beautiful hotel, absolutely great location. You're right on the Nile. in downtown Cairo, which is amazing. They have a beautiful pool. They have some restaurants. They have some bars. They have things to do. They have a beautiful lobby area, a great gym there. So like I said, it's awesome, but it's completely a great area. So you can literally walk out your hotel and wander the streets if you want. But yeah, day 2, when you arrive in Egypt, you can do whatever you like. Go to the pool, go to the spa, have a nap, shower up, go for a walk, kind of enjoy yourself however you see fit. And then you guys will go to bed. You'll wake up. And then on day 2 is when you are going to meet your guide. You're going to meet your group. So, day 2, you wake up, you go have breakfast at the hotel, you meet the guide, you meet the group, and then we are going to take off to go enjoy Giza. So we hop on the bus. We're going to drive over to Giza. We're going to get there. All of our guides are local guides. All of our guides are Egyptologists. So you'll have an expert guide there with you, and they're going to explain to you guys, the history of the pyramids, who built them, how are they built, why they were built, go over the history of it. You'll learn that they were the tallest buildings in the world until Eiffel Tower, which is incredible, how old they are. And then you guys actually get to go into the Great Pyramid. We actually get to go down and descend into the pyramid and then go into the tomb area, which is quite extravagant. And like I said, it's very, very different than what you'd expect. So yeah, you'll get to do that. And of course, if you want to do a camel ride around the pyramids, that's always an option for you guys as well. When you guys are done with the pyramids and you guys start to leave the pyramid area, that's where you're going to get your best photos of the Sphinx. So you're going to see the Sphinx there, and you'll learn the history and what happened in the French Revolution. But yeah, you'll see that there. And we go through the little markets when you guys exit there. And then from there, we're going to go down to Saqqara. So that's the photo on the top up right-hand corner there. Saqqara, that's Dozer's step temple, the first step temple ever built over in Egypt. And we are going to go there and check that out as well in Temple Valley, which is pretty cool. Then we're going to go for lunch. We're going to have a beautiful lunch when we're there. And then we're going to head over to the Egyptian Museum, where you guys are going to get to go check out the Egyptian Museum and see the early artifacts, all the history, and what you guys are going to experience when you guys are there. King Tut's treasures are there, you'll see. There's the mummy room that you guys will see in there, so super cool. And then when we exit there, we get to go to the Kanalili markets, and so you guys know the Kanalili markets is one of the largest outdoor bazaars, so you have to check that out when you guys are there. You can do some shopping when you guys are there, which is pretty good. If you guys wanted to get anything like that, they have like papyrus paper and all that fun stuff. And then you guys are going to have dinner. You guys are overnight in Cairo, then you'll go to bed, you'll wake up, you'll have breakfast, and then we are going to fly down to Aswan. So again, we're going to go over to the Cairo airport. You guys are going to board the flight. We're going to fly you down to Aswan. Your guide's with you. Once you guys arrive in Aswan, you'll get on the transfer, and the transfer is going to transfer you guys over to the Nile cruise ship that you guys are going to be on for the next 3 nights. So you'll get there, you'll board, you'll get all ready, and then you'll have the opportunity to do a felucca ride. So a felucca, that's the bottom left-hand corner there. A felucca is a traditional sailboat the Egyptians have used for the last 3,500 years, sailing up and down the Nile. They're beautiful, leisurely, they're awesome. So we're going to hop on that. We usually take that over to like a banana plantation, and you get to see the locals and local family there. You get to see what it's all about. So you get that local experience, and then we're going to come back. There is the optional to go over to the island of Philae if you want to. You do have some time to do that in the late afternoon, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. You can just relax on the ship, and then same thing. You guys will have dinner on the ship and everything. Then you guys will go to bed, and you guys will wake up. You'll have breakfast, and then there's an optional excursion over to go see Abu Simbel. Okay, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you don't make it an optional excursion and you do it. It is a huge highlight. It is King Ramses II's temple. The history behind it is incredible. Sorry, guys. So it's absolutely something. It's a must see. It is an early morning for you guys, but well worth it. And we need to get there early because it gets hot there all the time. It's in the middle of the desert. So, but like I said, a huge highlight. So you guys will do that in the morning, then come back to the ship in the afternoon. It'll set sail. You'll stop off at Komobu. You'll get to go to the Crocodile Mummy Museum, which is pretty cool. And then again, you're just on the ship for the day. So you get to enjoy all the ship. Then you guys go to bed, you wake up, and day 6, we're going to go to Edfu, and we're going to take like a carriage ride, so like the traditional carriage ride, and we're going to go into Edfu Temple, which is pretty cool. And then we're going to see all the things that you want to go see in Edfu. We'll do a walking tour there. And then after that, we are going to dock over in Luxor. So we're going to get over to Luxor, and then we're going to see Luxor Temple at nighttime. We are also going to see it in the daytime, but it is much, much more dramatic at nighttime. So we're going to go there at nighttime and see Luxor Temple, which are those top two photos that you can see there on the right-hand side. The main photo and the bottom right-hand photo, that is going to be of Edfu, an Edfu temple that you guys will check out, which is pretty cool. So like I said, day 6, like I said, you wake up, you have breakfast, go to Edfu, see the main things. Then you guys are going to get back on the boat. We're going to sail north on the Nile, stop off in Luxor. Like I said, we'll get there, we'll have dinner. Then we're going to go out for nighttime to see Luxor at night. Then you go back on the ship, sleep, wake up. And the next day is absolutely incredible. We are going to see all the major things you're going to want to see. So we're going to visit the Valley of the Kings. When we're in the Valley of the Kings, you'll have the opportunity to go into the actual tombs. Okay, so top left-hand corner, and then the photo next to the sarcophagus, and then the bottom left-hand corner. Those are all different tombs you guys will actually get to go into when you guys are in the Valley of the Kings, okay? King Tut's tomb is there as well. So you can go into King Tut's tomb, and it's amazing because, like, all you see is, like, it's a desert. It's just sand, and then there's, like, this, like, circular hole, like, you know what I mean, like an archway, and you walk into that, and then you go into these, like, passageways with all the hieroglyphics, and the guide will go through it with you, and he'll or she'll read the hieroglyphics off the walls right to you, which is pretty cool. So when you guys are done that, then we're going to go over to Temple of Hatshepsut. So Hatshepsut's temple is the top right hand corner there, photo there. Hatshepsut, the only female pharaoh in Egyptian history. There is some bad blood there. There's a crazy story, which I'll let the guides explain to you guys, but absolutely incredible place to go to. You'll check that out. Then after that, we're going to go to Karnak Temple. Karnak Temple is known as the playground of the gods, or the kingdom of the gods, temple of the gods, sorry. So when you guys go in there, they have like the obelisks. So, and they have like the massive pillars with the hieroglyphics on them. So again, the top middle photo where you see the sky, those pillars there, and then bottom right hand corner, those pillars there are both in Karnak Temple, but Karnak Temple is much more grand than that, so it's awesome. So you'll check out Karnak Temple. Then we're going back to the hotel. We'll had lunch at this point too, but then back to the hotel, and then you guys have free time to do whatever you want in Luxor. Luxor is an awesome city. Our hotel is on the Nile, centrally located this night over in Luxor, so you won't be sleeping on the boat. You'll be sleeping in Luxor this night, and again, lots and lots to do. So it's great. You have a free night with this new group you just met, these new friends you just made, and you guys can go out for like an awesome dinner and walk the streets. It's really cool. So and then after Luxor, okay, when we're done that, we've seen everything. So far we've seen like, we see obviously the pyramids, we've seen Hatshepsut's temple, we've seen Ombo, we've seen Edfu, you guys see Aswan. So all your major highlights in Egypt that you'd want to see, you've now seen. You've accomplished that, and we've accomplished that by about day 8, so you guys know, okay? So then on this tour, which I love, is day 8, we wake up, we have breakfast, and we head over to Hurghada. Hurghada is on the Red Sea, okay? These are the photos of the hotel we use there. We do use the Marriott property there. We do it all-inclusive style. They don't include alcohol in Egypt, so you guys know. So when we say all-inclusive, not alcohol, but it's unlimited food, soft drinks, water, sparkling water, coffee, tea, all that stuff. If you want beer and wine, you still got to pay for it. But yeah, so you guys will get to go over to Hurghada. It is awesome. And then for 3 nights, you guys just veg out in Hurghada. Go to the beaches, go to the pools, go relax. There's a private island. There's a spa there that you guys get to go to. It's awesome. And there's tons and tons to do in Hurghada. So like you guys can go like 4x4 in the desert and go by 4x4s and check that out. You can swim with the dolphins. You can go deep sea fishing. You can do parasailing. You can, like there's just so much to do in Hurghada. The food's there. They have like international cuisine there. They have local cuisine there if you want to get off the resort and go check something else out. They have casinos and bars and discos, and like it is awesome. So it's an awesome way to end the tour, going to the beaches of Hurghada, 3 nights, relaxing, no one telling you when to wake up. You can sleep in, but yeah, people love it. So we do that from day 8 to 11. Then on day 11, we wake up. and we transfer back to Cairo. So we're going to go back to Cairo. We have the optional excursion to go see the Saladin Citadel, if you guys want to go check that out. You'd also have free time to go up to Alexandria if you wanted to see the ports of Alexandria and see if you can find Cleopatra's tomb, because no one's ever found it yet. But you'll do that when you guys are there as well. And then again, so night 11, you'll sleep in Cairo, wake up the next morning on day 12, and then you will fly home. So an awesome tour, completely comprehensive of what you want to do. Like I said, you see Cairo, you're on the Nile, you do the Nile cruise, you do the pyramids of Giza, you do the Sphinx, Saqqara, Aswan, Abu Simbel, Komobu, you do Edfu, Philae Temple, Crocodile Museum, Valley of the Kings, Valley of the Queens, Hatshepsut's Temple, Luxor Temple, Karnak Temple, then Hurghada, 4 nights relaxing, and then you head back up to Cairo. Like I said, awesome tour. You'll do everything. It's 12 days, including flights, land only. That whole tour with everything included is only $1,800 per person, and that includes your internal flight from Cairo down to Aswan. If you want air from Toronto or Halifax, we have it with direct flights for $30.99 from Toronto. They are connecting flights out of Halifax, but again, $3,000 to go away in 4- and 5-star hotels throughout Egypt, doing a 5-star Nile cruise. It's an awesome deal for what you guys get. And like I said, all of our guides are local Egyptologists, so they've went to a Western university for 4 years and studied Egyptology. So I said, awesome tour. If your clients are, or if you guys are looking to get out to check it out. So, and now something completely different than Egypt, no longer in the desert, but in mainland Europe. We are going to head over to one of my favorite countries as well, Italy. I'm kind of biased because my parents were born over in Italy in a small town called Pasticci. So I do know Italy very, very well, a place close to my heart. And I'm going to explain to you guys how you can eat and see your way through one of my favorite countries. So, and again, so this tour here, 8 days, 7 nights in destination. We have tons of tours that are longer. I get it. If you're going over to Italy, you might be like, you know what? I want to see more. I want to see like my fair town of Verona. I want to see Romeo and Juliet and the Capulets, where I want to see Lake Como and see George Clooney's mansion. Milan, I want to go check out the amazing food that's over Milan and the fashion that's over Milan, or go down to Genoa or Pisa, or head down obviously to the Amalfi Coast down south, or go to Sicily. There's tons and tons to do in Italy. So this is just your major jump off point. Okay, this tour here, 8 days, but we can extend this, no problem. Like if you guys want to go further south and you have more time, we can. If you want to pair this tour up with like other destinations, so Switzerland's super popular to pair it up with. Germany and France seem to be the most popular right now. People love doing actually this tour here, and then we have like a 6-day tour of like mainland France, including Paris for 3 nights, and people are loving that. And it's about 2 weeks long with the two of them together. But like I said, the one we are going to talk about is all about Italy, in 8 days, 7 nights in destination, including all the things you're going to see on your screen here. And we're really only going to focus on 3 major cities there: Rome, Venice, and Florence. So here we go. So day 1, just like from Italy, from Egypt, you're going to fly from your gateway over into Rome. Okay, so we're going to fly over into Rome, whether you're flying from Halifax or wherever you're flying from. And then we are going to arrive into Rome. Once you arrive into Rome, we're going to pick you up at the airport. We're going to help you with your bags, get you on your private transfer. We're going to take you to the hotel. We're going to check you in. You're going to get your welcome package. But again, day 1 or day 2, because I guess day 1 was you flying. So day 2 in Rome, your first day in Rome, it's an arrival day. You can do whatever you want. If you want to go to the pool, go to the pool. If you want to go to the restaurant, you want to do a bar, you want to just sleep, you want to shower, whatever you want to do. You've just arrived in. We totally get it. Take your time, do whatever you want. We are right in downtown Rome, so you guys know. We're only 2.5 kilometers to the Vatican, so about a 20-minute walk over to the Vatican, or just over 20 minutes. But a short Uber ride, taxi. We're right outside the metro station. But there's lots to do in our neighborhood just because the Vatican's down the road there. But like I said, awesome hotel. These are photos of the hotel you'll be staying at over in Rome. So you'll check out all those things, and then when you're ready for it, you'll have dinner. You'll go to sleep. you'll wake up. The next day is when you're going to meet the group. You're going to meet the guide. It's going to be a local guide. It'll be a Roman guide right from Rome with you. So you'll have breakfast at the hotel, and then your guide will greet you at the hotel. And today you are going to hop on the bus, and you're going to go do a big city tour of Rome, checking out all the major things you could possibly want to see. We are going to go over to the Colosseum and go check out the Colosseum. We're going to see the ancient Roman Forum on Palatine Hill when you guys are there. And then we have the optional excursion. Again, it's only $46, but you take a walk through the artistic heart of Rome. So you see the Piazza Navona, and you'll see the Church of San Luigi. You'll see the incredible Pantheon when you guys are there. Trevi Fountain, which is amazing. We'll get some gelato when we're there. You'll see the Spanish Steps when you guys are there. And then we do an authentic Italian meal in Campo de Fiori. And it's only $46 to add that on. Highly recommend you add it on. A lot of the Italy stuff is going to have add-ons to it. So the base price is super cheap. And then you will just add on to whatever you want to it, because we know people have been to Italy. So maybe you've been to Italy before, or you're on a cruise ship port and you were able to see like 3 things, but you didn't see everything. So you want to see more things now. We do it this way because if you're on the other tour that you did, you've seen the Colosseum, maybe you're like, you know what? I don't want to see the Colosseum, but I missed the Vatican last time, so I really want to see that, and we get that. So we want to make sure our tours are flexible, so you still get to do exactly what you want and what you expect on your vacation. But yeah, so that'll be day 3. Then that evening, you'll have that dinner, like I said, go back to the hotel, go to bed, wake up. Day 4, you're going to wake up, and day 4 is a completely day at leisure to do whatever you want, Rome. You can sleep in, you can go check out some things that you want to go see. However, if you have never been to Rome before, we highly recommend you add on these 2 optional excursions. So the first one is skip the line guided tour of the Vatican Museum, St. Peter's Basilica, and the Sistine Chapel. So it's $110 per person. Well worth it. We have VIP entrance when you guys are there. We get lunch too, and you'll get to go through the Vatican with a local guide that only tours the Vatican. Absolutely incredible. And like I said, because we skip the line, we get through things a lot quicker, which is awesome. So you can do that. And then it said when we're outside of the Vatican, you're not too far from the hotel, but you can walk around the streets there. It's awesome. And then again, not you don't have to do this one, but we also have the optional Rome by night, which you get to do like a beautiful Baroque Rome at nighttime with dinner. And seeing Rome in the nighttime is very, very different than seeing it during the day. Like I said, with everything lit up, it's a little different. So I highly recommend adding on those 2 optionals if you can. But then you guys will go to bed in Rome. You'll wake up, and we are off to Florence. We are going to drive with Florence, the guides with you again, and we are going to take off. On our way to Florence, we are going to stop off at Assisi to see the Basilica of St. Francis, which is what you guys are seeing on the bottom right-hand corner and middle photo there. So you'll have to check that out when you guys are there. Super, super cool. We'll stop off at Orvieto, which we're going to get some lunch there, and then we're going to head over into Florence. We're going to check into the hotel, which is amazing. And then again, you guys, we have some free time that night. We would love for you guys to join us when we do our optional excursion in Florence at nighttime with a magical dinner. All you can drink wine. Oh yeah, not bad. And it's from a local farm, which is pretty cool. So we go to like a local's house, and they make this like massive banquet dinner with anything you want. It's incredible. We get to go through the vineyards there. So it is pretty cool. So I would highly recommend doing it if you can. Well worth with the dollars. But again, if you don't, if you're like, you know what, we're just going to chill out at the hotel, order some pizza, and that's all we want to do. It's your vacation. Do whatever you want, right? So an awesome way to kind of tour it. The next day, you guys will wake up, and we're going to do a walking tour of Florence. So we're going to go to the top of the hill and see the panoramic view there. We'll see all the major sites. And we do that early in the morning, from 9 till about 11 or so. And then after that, you guys are going to have free time to kind of do what you want. You know what I mean? So you can go see the Uffizi Gallery, which is going to have the famous Michael by David, or David by Michael, or Leonardo da Vinci, right, is right there for you guys. You'll have the optional to visit the Academia Gallery, so you'll check that out when you guys are there if you'd like. And then we have the optional half-day tour of Pisa and the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So you can choose whatever excursions that you want to do when you guys are there, which is pretty cool. You won't be able to do everything, but you will be able to do most things, so you guys know. And then when we are done with Florence, we go to bed, we wake up, we have breakfast, and we are going to drive over to Venice. We are going to stop off at a place called Bologna. We're going to have lunch there, which is awesome. And then we're going to visit Padova en route, which is the bottom right-hand photo there. So we're going to walk around there and see the cathedrals there. there. So lots and lots to do. And again, we don't want to make these long drives. We like to take an hour drive, stop, see some cool things, hop on the bus, hour drive, stop, see some more things, right? So Italy's got a lot of beautiful hidden gems to offer you guys, right? So once we arrive into Venice, we're going to go to the hotel. We'll check you guys into the hotel. The hotel is an awesome hotel right in the water. And then you guys are going to have the evening at leisure. You got to do whatever you want your first night in Venice, obviously, right? So whatever you guys want to do in Venice, you guys can go check it out. Then you guys will go to bed. You'll wake up, and then we are going to do our walking tour of Venice. We'll have breakfast at the hotel. We'll do our walking tour of Venice, and we are going to see all the major highlights. We're going to see San Marco Square. We're going to go see the cathedral. We are going to go to see the spiral staircase, the gondolas, the bridges, all the major sites that you'd want to see when you guys are over in Venice. And then the lunch and the afternoon are completely at leisure. We highly recommend you take a gondola ride. The gondola rides are $55. They're reasonably priced, but they are awesome. Now the gondolas do fit up to about 4 to 5 people, so you guys know. So if you met another couple you like, you can pair up with them and hop on the gondola together. Before you hop on the gondola, one thing that we did and one thing our guide recommended to us was to go off to the local bottle shop and get a bottle of champagne. So we got like a little bottle of champagne, and then we hopped on the gondola, and the gondola ride was like, I think about half an hour. And we popped the bottle of champagne. We had some champagne in the gondola as we're going through the streets of Venice. It was absolutely magical. So I highly recommend that. So we got to do that. If you've been to Venice before, but you haven't seen all of Venice, there's a place called Murano and Burano. They're islands. So we have an excursion that goes out to them, and that would be the top, photo with the colorful buildings, and like I said, you'll go through with a boat through all this beautiful area and all these islands, and they're all brightly painted homes and things. So it's really neat to check that out. And you get off, you get to go to a restaurant there, so you can do that if you haven't done things there before. But yeah, so day 8 is quite cool over in Venice. You'll see all your major highlights and kind of do what you want to do. And you have a fabulous dinner. And then you guys will go to bed. You'll wake up, and then on day 9, you'll wake up. We will transfer you to the airport, whatever time your transfer is at, and then you will hop on your flight and you will fly back over to Canada, which is pretty cool. So that tour there with everything included, land only, $16.99 per person. So if you're using like points to get your airfare or something like that, but with airfare from Toronto or Halifax, that tour is $26.99. So an incredible price point to do everything that we just talked about, which is pretty cool. So amazing tour, lots included, great hotels, and like I said, you can kind of venture out from there. But that is it on Italy from me, and I want to say thank you guys so much for joining me today for the presentation and learning about these awesome tours, what you can do, how you can do them, and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to open it back up to Danny and hear his thoughts on everything, and if he has any questions, and I can help answer them.
Mike, thank you very much for this presentation on these 2 destinations that Exoticca offers. I've been following this your company now for probably 7 or 8 months. And I just actually had a client come back from an Egypt tour. What he did, though, was what I didn't do when I went on an Egypt Nile cruise back about, I'm going to say 15 years ago. He added Jordan to it, and it was a fantastic experience. I had an opportunity to look at his pictures, and it just absolutely blew me away, some of the stuff. And believe me, I have been traveling for 20 years, and Egypt is still the top trip of my life, and I just wish that I had added Jordan. One of the things that he mentioned about Jordan was a hot air balloon, and I think he told me that he paid $100 as an optional excursion for that. I have seen that elsewhere in Europe, in the United States. If you want to do a hot air balloon, it's $400. So incredible bargain there. So anyway, that's if you're thinking about Egypt, you should think about the add-on of going to Jordan as well. Definitely worth it. I like the idea of, I'm just making some of the notes when you were, and bringing back all kinds of memories, Mike, because I've been to, many of the places that you've talked about here. It's just sort of one of the lovely things about travel is it's in your mind, and you can go back there and visit it in your mind for the rest of your life. So small groups, 12 to 16, that's amazing, because most people experience coach tours with 40 to 55 people in them. And your exceptionally small groups in South Africa, we've been there as well, in a coach with 40 people in it. So the idea of 8 in a tour there is just absolutely mind-blowing. Leisurely paced. I don't know how you could say that some of these days are leisurely paced, where I see everything that you've included in that, but I guess that's offset by the days when you have time at leisure. Although I note that at leisure, your company does a very good job of offering optional excursions. And I strongly recommend to clients viewing this that you jam in as many optional excursions. This idea of staying at home, eating pizza, you can do that at home.
Absolutely.
No, get the optional excursions in and add them in Canadian dollars before you go over. You won't regret it. It's these when I go to different places, I like to experience everything I possibly can, even if it means that at 8 o'clock I'm ready to pack it in and go to bed. You're not going to go back to these places again. Experience them as fully as you possibly can. The idea of taking a public tour, 300 tours, and make it into a private tour is just absolutely amazing. So, I'm looking at doing something for CARP, Nova Scotia, and trying to see how we can make it an exclusive CARP trip. I see something like this as being eminently possible. The only trouble is we probably will have 40 to 50 people, so we'll have to talk about that, Mike.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, Asta and Tico, two very well-known names and in the travel business that oversee travel companies, tour operators, that sort of thing. Like to see that, because that offers great protection for travelers to make sure that their money is protected. So that's wonderful. Hotel options. A question for you, Mike. You talk about Charm 3. I can't remember, the Luxury was the last one. I can't remember the middle one. Okay. Locations. One of the things, if you look at some of your competitors out there, they will say, our moderate hotels versus our luxury hotels. So luxuries are right in the middle of everything. So you can get out and walk around and all that sort of thing. Moderates, not so much. Might have to take a taxi to go there. How would you rate, your 3, 4, and 5-star hotels in terms of location?
Yeah, for sure. So like I mentioned in the presentation for Italy, so like I was speaking about our lead-in hotel. So in Italy, we don't have a charm product. We didn't do 3-star. We only do the 4 and 5-star. So I just give you guys the 4-star option. So I included that price point at $16.99. And again, our hotel was about 2.5 kilometers from the Vatican, right? So not too far. Is it walkable for some people? Absolutely. That'd be like a good 20, 25-minute walk. And then for some people, that's too much, obviously, right? And that would be a short cab ride. So location-wise, great. Once you do get into that luxury category, though, you will be more centrally located, where you'll be that right downtown kind of feel, right? So like you'll walk out and the Coliseum will be, a 5-minute walk from you kind of thing. Right. So
yeah. Well, one of the benefits, there's no question. And that's what's called value. If you're going to spend a couple $100 more and go with 5-star, you're going to reap those benefits.
Absolutely.
Things on your own. Okay. Talking about guides, I recall our guide in Egypt talking about the fact that they had to be highly trained. You're not just picking somebody up off the street that has a little bit of information. We have a company here. It goes in the water and also drives around the city. I'm not going to mention the name, but I've heard stories about the guides there making up stories about the history of Halifax, and I'm just shaking my head. No, you don't want that.
No. All of our guides are truly vetted, and they're like industry leaders.
Yep.
So I said all of our guides have to be certified Egyptologists. And to get that certification, just to give you an idea, you do 4 years of university to do it. You have to read hieroglyphics. And on top of that, before they can tour with us, they will have to shadowed someone for 2 years. And that's not our standard. That's the Ministry of Tourism over in Egypt standard, right? Because again, same thing. Egyptians, as you know, you were there, super proud of their history, super proud of their culture. They absolutely want the world to go there and visit them. They treat tourists so well because they want you to tell your friends it's amazing, come here, and because of that, like I said, they want to make sure their guides are giving the right information because this is their culture, this is their heritage. This is what some people call one of the cradles of civilization, right? So no, our guides are well vetted, and they are experts, so that they will be able to answer any possible question you have.
Yeah, our guide actually, and I don't know if they do little side things, but I recall him making little cartouches out of gold.
Yeah.
For each of us with our names on them, and I still have that and treasure it till today.
Wow.
Cairo Museum. I just wanted to make one recommendation to people. I made the mistake when I was there of going to the King Tut exhibit first. And it was just absolutely, and I don't use these terms loosely, it was mind-blowing. And I'm going to suggest that people keep that to the last, because then you can appreciate everything else that you see, which is awe-inspiring. But, when you see King Tut's mask, everything else pales. So, folks, save that exhibit to the last. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we tried hookah smoking in the bazaar. That was kind of neat. I'm a former smoker from a long time ago, but to have the smoke cool through the water as it's going down into your lungs, it doesn't pain you so much. So that's an example of experience something locally.
Yeah.
Yep, wouldn't do it again, but
yeah, no, you'll have that option in Kanlili markets, and they do like the tea ceremony with the mint tea and all that fun. They love their tea, right? So.
Yeah. The optional tours, and this is for both Italy and probably more so for Italy than for Egypt, but they're priced. And I do have to make a comment at this point that all of the prices that Mike has passed along are prices that were accurate as of the day of presentation, and of course are subject to change as time passes. So, but the optional excursions, folks. My recommendation as a travel agent is to load up on those. Some of them are super special. They're all of good value. But if you wait until you actually get there, they may not be available to you. And certainly you're not paying in Canadian dollars when you get there either. So do have a good look at the optional excursions, and do consider adding those onto your package. Abu Simbel, my client who was there, had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to take the bus ride to get there. You and I, Mike, talked about options for travel there, and it certainly appears as though the bus ride is probably the best, most reliable option. It's a long bus ride, but I can tell you that from personal experience, that is a must-do when you're in Egypt, no question.
Absolutely.
And the night shows with the lighted night shows just throws a completely different perspective on the temples that you're going to visit. So highly recommended there too. Valley of the Kings. Our trip there, it's in a valley, which means there's mountains on either side of it. So depending upon what time of year you're going there, it could be an absolute sweat box. But it's so awe-inspiring. A lot of walking involved there. Your bus can only take you to the entrance, and then you have to walk along the pathways. And there are several tombs that you have to walk up, I'm going to say 100 steps up a wooden walkway to get to the entrance of the tomb. And then, of course, lots of walking there. So you have to be in reasonable shape to be able to handle that sort of thing. The tombs themselves, again, folks, very important. If Egypt is on your bucket list, like the cruise in Alaska, very important to get that in. When we were there, and that was a long time ago, they were talking about the tombs experiencing mold growth on the paintings, and that's from the breath of all the visitors that come in there, putting moisture into the air of what normally would be an extremely dry, um, atmosphere. So again, before they close these off or limit the number of visitors to them, I think you want to put this on your bucket list and get there and see some of these absolutely awe-inspiring. I had an interesting trip as a travel agent. It was in the temple, I think it was Karnak, something I advise my clients never to do. One of the guards who didn't speak English beckoned me over away from my group, and I went with him, and he showed me a lintel, which is sort of the top of a doorway, but it was down, probably about 4 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet off the ground. And he pointed underneath that. And of course I said, what the heck is he doing? So I got down on my knees and looked under the lintel, and there was a picture of a thunderbird with its wings outspread in original colors. I got down on my back and took a picture of that. Nobody there would ever have seen it. No guide would point that out. This guy knew all about it, and he pointed it out to me. In the process, he took me around to different places and I was separated from my group. And I was saying to myself, this is not what I would recommend to my clients, get separated from your group and so on. But he took me to about 5 different places in the temple. Again, places we would not have discovered on our own, and showed them to me. And all he wanted at the end was a tip. But in retrospect, I would have said I should have grabbed my fellow travelers and pulled them over, and they would have experienced these phenomenal sights that just most tourists wouldn't see. Anyway, not a good idea to go off on your own. But I experienced some things there that the rest of the group didn't experience. So it was pretty wonderful. Let's see. The 3 nights at the beach resort, that's not something that we experienced at all. And certainly in the area of Alexandria, as well as Hurghada, I guess it's called. That was really different too. So, I mean, in addition to this Jordan add-on, you've got this beach thing, which, I mean, beaches, I can get those anywhere. If it takes me to a different area, Alexandria or Alexandria, I was just watching a TV program on that last night. They were looking for the burial ground of Alexander the Great.
Wow.
You talked about Cleopatra, and that's true too.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of history there too. So you can go there for relaxation, or you can go there to add on to your experiences for history. Let's see. Yeah, the Italy, Florence, Rome, and Venice, superb, absolutely superb. And anywhere you can get into a lineup that skipped the line, take it. We spent 2.5 hours getting into the Vatican when we were there a long time ago. So yes, absolutely, that 2.5 hours is valuable time when you're away. So definitely do that. And again, I was looking at options that Mike was suggesting there. And you can't do them all. And I'm saying to myself, oh, I wish I could, but they're being offered more or less at the same time. So you're going to have to choose something. In Venice, we spent 7 days there on a river cruise, and it was what an incredible way to experience that. But the islands of Murano and Burano, if you get the opportunity to, these are outlying cities that are just off, not too long a boat ride, but driving through boating through the lagoon and seeing all of the little individual islands that have old buildings on them. The building occupies the entire island. It was really quite unbelievable there. But I'm about to open. My wife and I met 55 years ago yesterday at high school, and we bought a bottle of wine at a vineyard in one of these islands. It's a vineyard that has a very unusual history. It was abandoned and then brought back to life about 50 years ago. It floods with seawater twice a year. As a matter of fact, I don't know if it's right now or not, but if you see pictures of Venice at certain times of the year, everything's flooded. St. Mark's Square is under 2 feet of water, and people are wearing boots to get around there. But anyway, back to my vineyard story. This vineyard floods with salt water, which would normally kill everything. But what it does is it adds a little different flavor to the quality of the wine. So we bought a half bottle of wine when we were there about 5 years ago. It was $220 for a half bottle, and we were saving it for our 50th anniversary, which passed about 5 months ago. We are going to open it today and see if we've got very expensive vinegar or if we've got really nice wine. So, you know, that's the sort of thing. You can check out vineyards and you can sample wines. You can do that sort of thing in these side excursions. So that basically is everything I have to comment, Mike. I really enjoyed your presentation. As I say, you brought back a lot of memories for me. One of the things, folks, that I have noticed in exploring this company is the phenomenally low prices. My client, traveling single, upgrading his room, gone for about 13 days. I think his price, including flights from Halifax at the time, were about maybe $4,700. That's to visit Jordan, Petra, the Dead Sea, Amman, and everything that Mike illustrated in Egypt. So prices are exceptional, absolutely exceptional. And I can attest from my client's reaction to this that it was a wonderful trip. Mike, I want to thank you very, very much. I don't know if you have anything to add before we finish this off. I think
no.
But,
No, that was great. I want to say thank you. You know what I mean? So much for everything. I really appreciate it. Right. So.
Well, and I will definitely be doing more business with your company as the years progress. Thanks again, Mike. Really appreciate your time.
Not a problem at all. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Danny. Take care. Have a great day, everybody.
Yeah. Goodbye.